Question number 2 today was, can I have several callings? I mean, yes and no. Again, if you go back to my first question, I think if we actually look at our call as primarily the call, the appel, we'd say in French, like the calling of God to be in fellowship with Him, to be planted in His family. You know, there are things I want my kids to do. There are tasks and missions. They have to, you know, clean the dishwasher or stick the dishwasher, empty the dishwasher, those things. My youngest son has to shovel the snow at times, and you know, different roles and tasks and things like that as part of a family. But the call is to be part of a family. So I would say we have one calling relationally to abide in Jesus. But yes, we will then be called to do many things. But I would, a little caution in there, I would say most of the things we're called to do are really like branches of a tree. There's that central thing, but my point is they all relate to each other. And I think it's really important that we look at them through that lens, that I am really called to live by faith, and I'm called to teach others to live by faith. That's a really basic calling on my life. And at times I'm functioning like a pastor or a senior leader of several churches, or a visitor, like a sort of apostolic voice in other churches I may visit. There's different things I do, you know, media. I'm doing more of what I'm doing now. God's told me about writing. I think it's something that I'm actually behind the curve and stepping into. But all of those things are really just branches of that same call. They're expressions, if you will, of that same thing. And I think we can actually fall into error when we confuse our means with our mission. When we, you know, there's a guy I'm thinking of who's an amazing ministry in Ireland, but who really got into PowerPoint in the 1990s, and you know, producing video cassettes and all that. But if you actually realize God called him to be a voice, and as Kenneth Copeland would say, to use every available media, the guy's still trying to produce video cassettes, and nobody uses video cassettes anymore. So we shouldn't confuse the means with the calling. But I think, yes, you can have lots of different branches for your call, but I think they've got to be resumed in one central thing. In a way, your call and your identity have got to be linked and locked, and you don't want to have more than one identities. That's a pathology. You may need ministry and deliverance if you have more than one identity. So find that central identity, and there will be many expressions that can change over time and circumstances within that calling. I hope that makes sense.